Їхав козак містом, під копитом камінь тріснув та раз-два, під копитом камінь тріснув та раз-два, під копитом камінь тріснув, соловейко гаю свиснув та раз.
Tucked away in the heart of Germany, steeped in traditional Bavarian culture, lies the historic city of Eichstätt. For centuries, this city has been and continues to be a cradle of European Catholic intellect. Recently, however, Eichstätt has become increasingly well known as a site of unique ecumenical importance to the Universal Church. The source of this international attention is the fruit of one man's vision and his desire, born out of bitter Holy Land experience, to create a place where Christians of different rites could live, study, and pray together. The ecumenical seminary, the Collegium Orientale.
Christen, die alle Jesus Christus verkünden, die seine
Christians who all announce Jesus Christ, who all preach the gospel, they quarrel with each other. They fight against each other. They jostle each other away from these liturgical places. They emphasize to one another that they alone are the only true church. I thought, this can't be the sense of Christianity. We became untrustworthy witnesses.
Founded in 1988, the special mission of this seminary is to provide an education to young men from countries where, either through economic hardship or the persecution of Christians, they are prevented from responding to their vocation.
They
live together here in the Collegium Orientale, young men from the Eastern churches who are motivated to serve the church or to serve people, who come to this place to receive a good education. We can offer them help for their formation, offer them studies, or we can offer financial support for their studies.
Our seminary in Lvov was previously a communist youth camp during the Soviet period. There are more than 200 seminarians now, and there is not much place to live. There are 3 to 4 boys in one room. Here, now we can prepare ourselves better to grow more with God. It was really hard there to be alone with God and pray privately, because everybody could see you wherever you were, wherever you went. In the chapel, you can see everything too. I think that here, when I can stay alone in my room, it gives me a better possibility to grow. I like this place. You feel like a normal person, a normal student. Our rector teaches us responsibility for ourselves. For example, there is no police regime. If there is a problem, a misunderstanding, everybody meets and discusses who is wrong, who is not. I appreciate this, and I like it very much. No matter what nationality you are the student. You are the seminarian. It doesn't matter if you are Orthodox, Catholic, Romanian, Ukrainian, Slovakian, Bulgarian, German. It doesn't count. You are a part of a family, a community. Only then can you live normally. Naturally, an education about the different rites of the Church is part of the Collegium's program. It's like this. It really is a platform where students study together, pray together, live together, and get to know each other.
Many of the students come from Central and Eastern Europe, where until recently worship was forbidden. Today, the Church does not have the resources to respond to the growth in vocations.
When
I was a child, my mother took me to church, or better said, to the underground church. Under communism, under the dictatorship of Ceausescu, we visited 2 underground Greek Catholic priests imprisoned for several years because they refused to convert to the Orthodox Church. I believe faith came to me from God through my family. My grandfather was a priest, but I don't think that this was the reason for my entering in the seminary. Our Greek Catholic Church was persecuted and pressured by communists. When the communists, the Soviets left, the curtain, the pressure was gone, and many people came back to church. Therefore, there are a lot of vocations. When I went to the seminary, there were 3.5 persons for one place.
Христос воскресе із мертвих, смертію смерть поправ, Ісус живоробі живот дарував. Christus verstanden von dem Toten, im Tode bezwanken Tod, und schenkte den Entschlafenen das Leben.
Мой папа коммунист был. Его имя такое. Он Сталин называется.
My father was a communist. He has an appropriate first name for this, Stalin. It's strange, isn't
У меня такие
it?
вспоминания есть, когда был маленький, очень-очень маленький. Она мне говорила.
But my grandmother had a strong faith. And I remember when I was a little boy, she talked to me about Christ, about the world of angels, what will happen after death.
После смерти. Мне это впечатлило как-то.
It stayed printed in my mind.
Я это запоминал. И потом, когда я вырос,
After this, when I was older,
тогда
what she said came back to me.
опять в голове, и я тогда начал думать.
I started
об
to
этом.
think about it.
У меня вера как-то пришла с рисованием икон.
My faith came together with the painting of icons.
Человек целую жизнь
I
учится
think
вере.
that man learns
Я не
faith
знаю,
throughout
как я могу
life.
представить свою жизнь без
I
рисования.
cannot imagine my
Просто
life
рисую,
without
я всегда
painting.
рисовал. Я пришел здесь, чтобы нарисовать эти росписи, чтобы
I simply
сделать.
paint.
Мне хочется здесь еще учить.
I was always
Здесь
painting.
есть очень хорошие библиотеки.
I arrived here to paint these
Здесь есть
frescoes.
большая информация для
I still need to learn more.
Это меня интересует. Поэтому
Here there are very good libraries, very good information about the Byzantine traditions.
Мой творческий путь,
I'm interested in
мое
them.
место там.
That's why there is a lot to learn in Germany.
Прошлый год
I know that I will return to Bulgaria. My work, my creation, my place is there. When last year I received the German visa to come here to paint, it was like a dream come true. All young Bulgarians dream about it. It is not a secret that in Bulgaria, like in all socialist countries, people are potential immigrants. There is no work there, no possibilities to develop one's capacities. That's why when I received my visa, I said to myself, I've got the freedom. I will go to the West. Everything is open. It will be great there. But when I arrived here, I felt a little bit, how to say, in the beginning it was a shock. It was a new world, new possibilities. But afterwards, when you get to know yourself better, you understand that everybody's place is at home. We have another mentality, other customs, and another outlook on life, completely different. One should see what one has now to better appreciate what he has at home.
A principle of the Collegium Orientale is to foster unity among Christians, and as such, accept students and priests from all liturgical rites, particularly those from the Middle East and Africa.
I invited with the rector Tirmeyer here. He said, when I have a chance, I come to stay because he like to know something about the monastic life from St. Anthony to give it the people here. Remember one student here, he asked me, he liked to be a monk. And he came from East Europa and he liked to know about how the monastic life, because they have other monastic life in East Europa.
كل حسد وكل تجربة كل فعل الشيطان ومؤامرة الناس الأشرار.
Ich möchte gerne das ein oder andere.
I would like some of them to study here. Firstly, because of the contact to the whole Eastern Church, which is represented here through the different countries, churches, and rites. And secondly, it is also important that they learn about the Eastern history and culture, particularly since this can be very useful in the Holy Land.
The training of priests here is often vital for the future of Christianity, particularly in those countries where the Church is still undergoing persecution.
It must be clear in our mind that Muslims are missionary. Islam is very, very missionary. It is no secret that the Muslims want to spread Islam throughout the whole world, because this is the will of Allah, and also, as they say, Islam is the religion of God. And so they want to spread this religion throughout the whole world. This is no secret.
Sondern widerschrecklich bekenne ich dir. Gedenke meiner, o Herr, in deinem Reich. Der Empfang deiner Geheimnisse, o Herr, gereiche mich nicht zum Gericht oder zur Verdammnis, sondern zur Heilung meiner Seele und meines Leibes.
Although many seminarians study here because of persecution at home, a great number also receive scholarships due to ongoing economic hardships, particularly in Eastern Europe, where family incomes of $20 a month is not sufficient to support the education of an aspiring priest.
We
receive the scholarships from Renovabis and from Aid to the Church in Need. Here I must say that Aid to the Church in Need helped initially in an unbureaucratic and very spontaneous manner, and still does today.
The cost to support a seminarian averages about 500 euros a month. money that neither the student nor the Collegium can afford. Often the only source of support for these students comes from international Catholic charities.
I'm very grateful to the organizations Aid to the Church in Need and Renovabis for this help. Without it, we would not have the possibility to come to Germany and to know each other. Everything here is very expensive, and we, who come from the Eastern countries, do not have such means. It is an enormous amount of money for us, 500 euro. I don't know, one would need to work several years to earn it, and here it is necessary just for one person monthly. The scholarship we receive is 2.5 times more than both my parents' salary combined. That is to say, that if I wanted to pay my studies with the income of my parents, they would have to work 2.5 months to be able to pay for a monthly scholarship here in Germany. According to this, they would have to live from the air.
Aid to the Church in Need will support in the coming academic year nearly 20 students from Eastern Europe and the Middle East. This way we can offer to the students a unique opportunity to study Western theology. This way they will get to know the professors and teachers and to have the chance to discuss things together. Moreover, and this is much more important, the students can, through common prayers and through daily community life, get to know other Eastern churches and learn to understand them. The students, after their studies, return to their native countries like Ukraine, Armenia, and Egypt. There, they will teach their young priests, and we hope that the experience they have in Eichstatt will have also permeated their education and so lead to a better mutual understanding.
Mehr gegenseitigen Verständnis führt.
We expect from this college, and I would say from the church in Germany, to get to know what our Eastern Church is all about. Because one must say that very many people here in the West know actually very little about Eastern Catholic or Orthodox churches as a whole. And I think it is also a very concrete proof of solidarity which this diocese, but also the church in Germany and in the West is proving towards the church in the East, that they are willing to put the contribution not just by paying, but also by educating and forming future candidates to priesthood.
My
biggest dream will be to have learned, during my stay in Germany until my return to Romania, something good, especially to be more tolerant and not so egoistic. Or maybe this is not the right word, but not so isolated. My expectations here are that we all hopefully build a real community. Up to now, I think that this was rather difficult. It is not so easy to build a real and strong community out of so many nations. But hopefully, in the future, it will succeed.
This college will be able to prove that this is not any competition, this is no rivalry between the churches. It is that we are trying to get to know one another and to work in communion with one another without doing any proselytizing or whatever sort of conversions they might fear.
Ich denke, dass dieses Institut
I think that this institute, and especially these young men from different countries, will one day build the cornerstones for the unity of all Christians.
Für die Einheit aller Christen, dass sich Kopten
that the Copt Church understands the Armenian Church, that Ukrainian Christians understand Polish Christians, that Hungarians understand Christians from the Latin Catholic Church. The future lies in the youth, and not anymore with us. We have to make sure that here something will be done for these people.
Прийшло до дня на кичеру шалене, прийшло до дня шалене, прийшло до дня шалене, прийшло до дня на кичеру шалене. Мало вуха, мало очі, мало ніс, мало вуха, мало очі, мало ніс. Повідало женя зість, повідало женя зість, повідало ми на вушко женя зість. Повідало женя зість, повідало женя зість, повідало ми на вушко женя